You think prayer becomes easier with age, but the shocking truth is that prayer in old age can be one of the hardest, most secret battles you will ever face. Because when the body grows weaker, the mind becomes quieter, and the noise of life dies down, you are left alone with your thoughts, regrets, memories, and unanswered questions. And it is here that prayer either becomes your deepest lifeline or your most painful confrontation. For suddenly, you are praying not for tomorrow's opportunities, but for strength to endure today, not for doors to open, but for courage to accept the doors that have closed. And this hidden shift in prayer exposes what was always lurking beneath the surface of your faith. Whether you truly trusted God or merely leaned on the distractions of youth. Because when you pray at 70 or 80, you no longer bargain with God about the future. You test whether you really believed His promise in Romans 8:28, that all things, even your wasted years, work together for good. And many secretly struggle here because prayer brings back the ghosts of every mistake, every what if, and you begin to realize that prayer in old age is less about asking for change and more about surrendering to the will you once fought against, which is why Jesus' words in John 21:18 strike so deeply. When you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go. For that is the essence of old age prayer, not demanding control, but yielding to the one who always had it. And yet here lies the hidden warning, that if you do not cultivate intimacy with God early, prayer later can feel like a foreign language. Because when silence fills the room, and children are gone, and work has ended, and strength has faded, you cannot suddenly create the fire you never tended. But if you have walked with God, then prayer in old age becomes shockingly rich, filled with a strange power that younger believers cannot imagine. Because every word carries decades of weight, every tear holds stories only you and God know. And even short whispered prayers shake heaven with authority born from endurance. Just as Anna, the prophetess in Luke 2, spent her twilight years in the temple, praying and fasting, her unseen devotion setting the stage for the revelation of Christ, reminding you that your late prayers may secretly be the most important ones of your entire life, shaping destinies beyond your sight. And here is another hidden layer. Old age prayer tests whether you truly forgave. For as the mind replays betrayals and losses, prayer forces you to bring those old wounds before God once more. And if bitterness has taken root, the words choke in your throat. But if forgiveness reigns, your prayers become fountains of blessing, even for those who wronged you, releasing you into freedom before eternity. And yet the deeper struggle comes when prayer feels unanswered after decades of faithfulness, when healing you begged for never came, when family members still wander far from God, when the promises spoken over your life seem unfulfilled, and you wrestle with the haunting silence of heaven. But it is precisely here that prayer in old age becomes a hidden victory, because it is no longer about the visible results, but about standing firm in faith until the very end, echoing Paul's words in 2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. And you discover that finishing with faith is itself the greatest answered prayer, because eternity will reveal what you could not see on earth. The ripple effects of every whispered intercession, the unseen angels moved by your persistence, the generations preserved by prayers you thought were ignored. And though your body trembles, your spirit becomes bold. For the enemy cannot touch a soul that ends in surrender. And so prayer in old age, though secretly one of the hardest battles, is also one of the most glorious, because it strips away every pretense, every false desire, every empty pursuit, until only God remains. And in that naked honesty, you finally discover the true purpose of prayer, not to change circumstances, but to change you, to mold you into the image of Christ, even as your outward self wastes away. For as 2 Corinthians 4:16 declares, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. And this hidden renewal becomes the shocking beauty of old age prayer, that while your knees may be weak, your voice shaky, your eyesight dim, heaven hears you louder than ever. Because prayer at this stage is not coated with ambition, but refined with fire, not shallow requests, but distilled faith. And if you grasp this secret, you realize your twilight prayers may carry more power than your youthful ones ever did. So do not abandon the secret place in old age. Do not believe the lie that you are too old to matter. For your prayers may be the very wall of protection over your children, the hidden intercession holding your grandchildren's future, the final seed that brings forth a harvest after you are gone. And here is the decisive truth. You are never too old for prayer, but you can be too hardened, too bitter, too distracted to pray, and that is the danger. So guard your heart now. Keep your spirit tender, so that when your hair is gray and your body tired, your prayers will rise like incense before the throne. Your final years marked not by regret, but by intimacy, not by silence, but by surrender. For in the end, prayer in old age is the ultimate preparation for meeting God face to face. And the question is not whether you prayed in your youth, but whether you will still be found praying in your last breath.